What's up, everyone? Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan here to discuss the Miami Heat 130-117 Game 1 upset in Milwaukee against the Bucks. Want to spend some time discussing this game with you. If you do like the content, this particular video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Also, feel free to go ahead and hit that notification bell to be notified of future videos. So, this was something. This was an unexpected victory. I know Giannis left the game in the first half, early in the first half. We all know that, right? Injures his lower back. Not sure about his availability for Game 2. The Heat themselves, however, in the first half, lose Tyler Herro to a broken hand, which, I mean, if a player breaks his hand, I mean, that's and I think it's even his shooting hand. Not that it, well, I guess it matters, but who knows if Tyler Herro is going to be able to even come back this season. But the Heat would find a way. They would win this game on the offensive end of the floor, creating decent shots, pretty good ball movement, and hitting those threes. I mean, they were hitting plenty of threes. Vincent, Kevin Love really stepping up, just to name a few. Jimmy Butler goes for 35 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, and 3 steals. I mean, Butler put on his cape here and turned into Superman once again. The Heat now go up 1-0. Who would have thought this? We now have a series, guys. This is very exciting, especially after the Heat's regular season, which was just very disappointing. I mean, this was not the 8th best team in the East. They got to be better than the 8th best team in the East. And the way it ended with pretty much getting blown out. I mean, they lost by like 16 to the Hawks for the 7th seed. And then in a pretty close game against the Chicago Bulls. Talk about backing into the playoffs with a victory at home in his second playoff game to grab the 8th seed. And here they go, and they go into Milwaukee and pull the upset. A couple of things I noticed in the first quarter, mainly, the Bucks were not really themselves with they moved the ball well, but some lazy passes they made. A few Heat players jump in the lane like Gabe Vincent did on one possession, just boom, deflects it for the steal, or deflects that pass. And they weren't crisp, were the Milwaukee Bucks to start this game. Again, these like lazy kind of, it's okay to everyone's going to make lob passes, right? That's a normal pass in an NBA game, but they were just these very lazy passes, and the Heat were able to exploit that early in the game. Also, in addition to that, I noticed throughout the game, not just the first half, they were in this the Milwaukee Bucks were in this 3-2 kind of zone, and they were leaving that foul line wide open. And even a little bit inside that foul line was really wide open. And at first I'm thinking, well, they're probably maybe they're letting Bam beat them, from that area. They don't think he's, they're challenging him to make these shots. But a few other Heat players snuck in there right in the middle of the key, just inside or near that foul line, and they were open as well. Bam was able to take advantage of that and put up 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, he almost had a triple-double and 2 steals. So between Butler and Bam, you had 5 steals. Tyler Herro was playing well prior to the injury at 12 points, but then he goes out with the broken hand, unfortunately. Gabe Vincent was one of the big unsung heroes of this game, stepped it up with 15.6 assists. Max Strus added 8 points, 5 rebounds, not quite as involved with the offense from a scoring perspective. 3 players in this game really played well off the bench. And those 3 players, 2 of them were for the Heat. And that might have been the difference, because you had Caleb Martin and Kevin Love, who both played very well. Combined for 33 points, did those 2 players off the bench. Caleb with 15, and then Love at 18 and 8 rebounds. Already discussed the Kevin Love long-distance shooting, which was fantastic. Kyle Lowry did not play quite as much, 2 points, 3 assists. Duncan Robinson, in limited playing time, had 3 points and was on that three from the left corner. That was really a big three because Milwaukee at that point, we're getting a little bit of momentum there. Mid-late third quarter, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. But Duncan is good. I mean, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't been in the mix really much lately, so the Heat are going to have to figure out. That's one of the things. Without Herro, how exactly are they going to use Duncan Robinson? I mean, he's going to be in the rotation. But you got to be careful with Robinson because you're going to need a top defender out there, and I say that because you got Khris Middleton, Drew Holiday. I mean, these are really good guards for the Bucks. Middleton led the Bucks with 33 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Brook Lopez, 10 points, 4 rebounds. He blocked 3 shots, had a steal. Holiday always plays well against the Heat. Always. 16, it seems that way. 16.7 rebounds, 16 assists for Drew Holiday. A steal, and Grayson Allen had 12 points, 3 assists. Giannis had 6 points, 3 rebounds prior to his injury. So the big piece of news to follow, if you're a Heat fan, is what will be the status of Giannis going into Game 2, which is Wednesday night in Milwaukee, April the 19th. Bobby Portis was fantastic for the Bucks. 21-8. Javon Carter had 2 points off the bench for the Bucks. Wesley Matthews 6-3, 3 rebounds. Wesley Matthews also had a steal and a block. Jay Crowder had 2 points off the bench for the Bucks. Joe Ingles, you got to watch this guy. So the Heat have to be careful with him when he's on the floor because he's got tremendous range, fantastic three-point shooter. He finished with 9 points, but he's the kind of guy he could really burn you. You know, he can go for like 15 and 12 of those points are on threes. He's a fantastic three-point shooter. So the Heat, and I think I had heard before the game they were ranked like 9th defensively. I haven't quite seen that. Not that 9th is the greatest ranking in the world, but you're better than like 2/3 of the league at least, right? If you're ranked 9th. I haven't quite seen that from the Heat since the play-in, especially, well, if you take the Hawk game and this game, I don't know. I mean, the defense really wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that great. I mean, we weren't getting that many stops, guys. Middleton definitely exploited the Heat on several occasions. He did take a few somewhat forced shots, but he kind of had to. They count on Middleton without Giannis. I mean, he had to put up like a Jimmy Butler type performance, and he pretty much did. I mean, Butler goes for 35, Middleton goes for 33. And don't forget, Middleton had the 9 rebounds. So, Butler had the 11 assists. I couldn't just leave that out there. But we'll see what happens for Game 2. So if you're the Heat, for Game 2, you gotta get a plan going with how we're going to use Duncan. Because who is he going to defend? All right, we got to figure this out. Maybe put him on Grayson Allen, right? I don't know. You tell me, guys. You tell me. Bam. We'll see if they slouch that D in the middle right in the middle there. If they fall back again and challenge that. Really, I don't even want inside the free throw line. You can get a pretty open shot against the Milwaukee Bucks in this game for the Miami Heat. It was very interesting strategy, and their defense wasn't. I mean, they allowed 130 points in regulation, so it really was not that effective at the end of the day or the end of the game. So let me know what you think. This is Dennis Sullivan saying, "I will see you, yes, you, very soon. We'll talk later in the week." And go Heat! They take that first game of the series. Very exciting. Until next time, bye for now.